I see you. I see.
I bring it down like.
I see you. I see.
I bring it down like.
Lofi Poli Sci, Michael Pickering bringing it down Lo-Fi Live with what's going on in the world today. And that Lo-Fi local for you up top. Don't forget Thursday's blog on lofipolisci.com. Check it out, people. Give it a quick read. It is a quick read. And our first live show reminder next week at UNO's The Sandbar. That's right, Thursday, October 5th from 6 to 7, with lots of UNO organizations thereafter to talk to. So get on out there for our very own Lo-Fi meet and greet. And add us on Instagram and YouTube, LinkedIn for all your local Lo-Fi Season 8 updates, people. Now let's check out some news in India, where Parliament has just passed, formalized, and made official that the lower house of Parliament in India and all state-level assemblies in India must contain at least 33% women in the legislature. Period. And this is definitely a move in the right direction, my friends. This is what is known as a legislative quota. And this is huge for trying to reduce gender inequality in a country, as well as increasing women's issues in politics in India. Now, that's the good news. However, there are some asterisks around this, meaning this does not take effect in the next election that takes place in 2024. And it likely won't take effect until after 2029. And the government says this is because they're waiting for the next national census of the population. So it's good news that we're seeing this increase in women's representation by law, but with a 6-year wait on it, question mark? I mean, you pass a bill to increase gender equality and then say, in 6 years. Well, India, we'll be watching. Now, let's check out some old updates from Spain. Well, new updates to an old story. An update to the trials of the Catalonia separatists. Yeah, you remember that, right? Out in the Catalonia region of Spain, they tried to have an independence vote and declared independence in 2017. And then the Spanish government said, oh, I don't think so. They arrested the leaders, and one of them went into exile and is still in exile today because he's wanted by the Spanish government. Well, the Independence Party from Catalonia, they won a few seats in the parliament this summer in Spain. Not much, though, just a few. But the current Prime Minister of Spain, their party doesn't have enough support since that election to stay in power. He's going to lose his prime ministership unless he makes a deal and gives amnesty, pardons the Catalonia separatists. Then they'll join his coalition and he can stay prime minister. And to that idea, somewhere around 40,000 people in Madrid, in Spain, they went to the streets. They said, oh, I think not. We are protesting this. And take a look at the pictures, people. Take a look. When we as human beings come together, we are a force of nature. We'll let you know what happens next, for sure. Now, next up to Venezuela, where the government used 11,000 troops to take over a prison they apparently lost control of years ago to the country's largest, most powerful game, question mark? Well, they sent the troops in and they retook the prison. They found a small zoo, stables for horses, a place for horse races, a pool, a nightclub, TVs, and everywhere there were stores of essential goods that many people in Venezuela have a hard time getting. Like, this gang ran this prison, and it became their headquarters for an international cartel in South America. From a prison. And for years, and we don't know how long exactly it's been because the government is just taking it back over. Oh, Venezuela, so many questions here, so many questions. We'll keep you Lo-Fi listeners updated as we find the answers. If we find the answers. Now, have you heard of artificial intelligence going on these days, huh? The little thing called AI? Well, first off, it's not really AI. It's branding and marketing trying to look cooler than they really are. Everything you see that says AI generated, it's not an autonomous machine that can choose and free think for itself and grow to take over the world. No, no, no. These new AI things, they're little more than predictive text computer programs. Simple as that. But who wants to buy something that's called a little more than predictive text computer programs? It's way better to just call it something like AI. Anyway. One of the big ones that keeps getting into so much trouble is ChatGPT. And now it's ChatGPT versus Game of Thrones. As the author of Game of Thrones books, and like 17 or so other really, really famous authors and some writers' guilds are all suing ChatGPT for copyright infringement and illegally using their books as data to help improve their computer programs. And you know what? The owners of it, a company called OpenAI, isn't saying all that much, likely because they know they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. And we'll see how this one turns out, people. I'll let you know for sure. And a last piece of news to send you on your way for the day. Couple questions for you. Can you run a mile? I mean, really, can you? I can walk a mile. Heck, I can walk 2 miles. I can walk a bunch of miles. But run a mile? Oh, I think not. Though I'm working towards it. But if you can run a mile, how fast can you run a mile? And let me also ask you, how fast do you think you could run 2 miles? No. Scrub that. Let me ask you, how fast could you run 26 miles? I mean, can you even run 26 miles? I can't run 26 miles. Oh, no. I'd have trouble even walking 26 miles, probably. But if you could you run 26 miles in, let's say, 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 53 seconds? Well, someone who can. A big what's up and shout out to Tigist Asifa of Ethiopia, who just beat the women's world record for the fastest marathon time ever at the Berlin Marathon. 26 miles, just over 26 miles. 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 53 seconds. Tigist Asifa, you are amazing. I am so jealous. That is such an awesome time. And let me leave you with some math for all this. I know everyone out there loves the math. You can pull out your calculators. Go ahead. How fast can Tigist Asifa run a mile? Now let's see if you can figure it out. The marathon is just over 26 miles, and she ran it in 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 53 seconds. So the question, on average, how long did it take her to run a mile? And I'll give you a 15-second count to figure this one out. So go ahead, punch it in. 26 miles in 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 53 seconds. Go. How many minutes does it take Tigist Asifa to run a mile? About 5 minutes and 3 seconds per mile, which means her average speed was over 12 miles per hour. And that is just a snap of what's going on in the world today.
I see.
I bring it down like.
Lofi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be. Pickering, signing off.